Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is David Fellows. David Fellows is the Chief Digital Officer of Acuity Knowledge Partners, leading technology, innovation, and digital transformation for the global organization. He joined the business in 2017 and is based in London. Acuity Knowledge Partners is a leading provider of high-value research, analytics, and business intelligence to the financial services sector. It supports over 350 financial institutions and consulting companies through a specialist workforce of over 3,000 analysts and delivery experts across a global delivery network.
Well, good afternoon, David. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on the show, Brian.
You bet, David. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you jumping on. I know we've got such our day is, your day is halfway over and mine's just started, but you being in the UK. So I appreciate you jumping on. And David, we're going to jump right into the questions so we can start to share your story out with our audience. So David, let's talk about your career a little bit. You've got a career in tech as an architect, director, and now you're the Chief Digital Officer of Acuity Knowledge Partners. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Brian. I think, like many, I take my motivation from creating impact. The opportunity to do that at Acuity Knowledge Partners has been very clear from when I started, I guess 3 years ago now. We're a business that offers expert financial services advice to the financial services industry, and we've been very successful in providing that for the last 18 years. But we're now in the process of a digital transformation, which is augmenting those traditional business capabilities with new digital services and digital products. And seeing those come to fruition, I find extremely rewarding. I think throughout my career, I've found that being a contemporary technology leader not only requires the ability to listen and to translate technology well, but having the patience and persistence and resilience these days to keep going in the face of adversity are all key attributes that have helped me. So, to answer your question, Brian, impacts, I get a lot of satisfaction from that.
That's amazing. And I appreciate you sharing that. That's something that we always here on the show want to know and understand our guests and what they're thinking and what they've done, which obviously contributes to a broad knowledge base for our audience. So thank you. And so, Dave, we're going to switch into the pandemic a little bit, right? We think it's starting to lift, and just as it's starting to lift, they say there's another variant. So wanted to talk to you about your plans for business growth going forward, and will it be any different than the last 16 months?
Well, first, we've, like so many kind of people and so many companies, we've suffered through the pandemic, and I have nothing good to say about it, and I will be very glad, as we all will, to see the back of it. But it has given us the chance to reevaluate many of the things that maybe we've kind of taken for granted. And one of the things that's definitely top of mind for Acuity Knowledge Partners is how we can help our employees with their work-life balance post the pandemic. For our company, at some point, we'll return to the office. But because of the nature of the IT infrastructure that we built over the last 18 months to support work from home, I think it'll be a hybrid approach based on what our teams think will be the best solution for them. So we expect that some teams will come into the office for a time, particularly where they need coordination, but then think that they'll return to a distributed model as suits their needs. One thing that we've really heard very clearly kind of from our staff throughout the pandemic is actually they miss the social aspect of being together in the office. And that's kind of something that we're kind of throwing around at the executive level. What is the workplace for? Obviously, kind of it's for focusing on work and kind of getting jobs done. But we're kind of starting to also think through, contemporary models of how can we bring our staff together and how can we use our workplace in order to be able to do that in the best possible way.
I appreciate the share on that, David. And you're absolutely right. Everybody's had to make some shifts and challenges around the pandemic, but this hybrid model is certainly going to, I think, stay for quite a long time into the future. And it's probably about time anyway. But David, let's talk about just a little bit about tech here. We're a technology publication and platform. You're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies in your tech stack, but is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Yeah, I've got a couple of examples that listeners might be interested in, Brian. I'll give you two examples. One's about end user computing and what we've done there, and the second kind of one is really around data science. So first is with regards to end user computing, our business model has meant that traditionally we've been an office focused organization, but as for everybody else, overnight, the pandemic forced us into this distributed work from home model that we've all been part of for the last 16 months. Historically, we have a very strong partnership with AWS. That's a matter of public record, and much of our technology is underpinned by their platforms. One thing to share is that we've now got a very extensive deployment of Amazon Web Services Workspaces. And for those who maybe are not familiar with that platform, Workspaces is the AWS cloud-based desktop as a service solution. That has been absolutely pivotal in allowing our desktop operations teams to get people working from home, to manage the desktops, to put the security in place. And it's probably one of the most important pieces of infrastructure that we've ever deployed. And we deployed it not overnight, literally, but relatively almost overnight. So that's a very, very important piece of new technology that we've implemented that has had real impact on the company. The second example that I'll give you, Brian, is that as our organization drives forward, we're doing a lot of automation and specifically we're doing a lot of custom entity identification and extraction work. So for instance, we're looking at public company financials, extracting information out of that, understanding what it is, running it through analytics models, and then coming out with results. And over the last 2 years, we've built some very, very powerful bespoke machine learning models that underpin those solutions. And if you want to know more about that aspect of what we're doing there, I'll be providing some more notes on that after the show.
Amazing. I love that. And, it's exciting. I really get excited about technology and some of the emerging tech that's coming out. And so I appreciate you sharing that. And that's what this platform is all about, is really discovering what companies and executives out there are developing and pushing out to their customers. So thank you, David. And David, last question here. Can you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in either tech or leadership?
Yeah, that's a good question too, Brian. That's a rich one. If we had an hour, I could probably give you many, many things, but just at the top of mind, I think maybe kind of one of the best pieces of advice that I can give based on my experience is around paying attention and giving critical focus to your hiring process. We're growing very quickly right now, but at Acuity Knowledge Partners, what we've really tried to do is to ensure that the people who join our teams are not only technically excellent, but they also represent a very diverse set of views and experience, but also culturally they fit into our work ethos and how we go about doing things. For instance, if you're the sort of person who would prefer to work in a quiet cubicle, Acuity Knowledge Partners probably isn't the place for you. We're kind of a very kind of busy, very energetic, very dynamic crew. So yeah, there's many, many ways that I could answer your question, Brian. But I think in our case, it's been around critical focus on the hiring process, and I think that's one of the things that we've aligned around, and has had, again, one of the biggest impacts and has been critical to our success.
Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing, and I can tell just based on our conversation and the research that I've done that we definitely have a great culture at Acuity Knowledge Partners. So thank you for sharing, David. And David, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thanks, Brian. I enjoyed it.
Bye for now.